guess we'll dedicate this to you guys. I thought it was gonna look different today, but I guess not. It's fine. It seems like we don't need to. I don't know. I gotta look it up. Okay, let's see. I'll show you. Enough talking. Okay. We have a raised garden bed here. And I want to say it is about 1 foot by 8 foot long. And really, I want to get maybe like, I don't know, maybe like some, what do you call it? I don't know, something. I'm trying to find out how I'm gonna do my trellis this year. I was gonna do how do you call it? Cattle panel. This is just on the box. Sorry, I'm just trying to show you guys. I was gonna do cattle panel over there. Here, let me do this. And I think it'll be too short if I went the length of the box. It'll actually be maybe about a 5 foot or 4 foot, or maybe even 2.5 to 3 arch. So then I thought I could go maybe across the width from the back of the box in front of it here into the grass. But I figured it would bend pretty crazy. Also, the width of it is 50 inches, and one of them alone is like $47 or something like that. That's like the cheapest I was able to find it, which was insane. If either it was 47 or 43, but regardless, it is. It just seems like a lot. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. But if not that, then maybe two little poles on either side, maybe T-posts, and then some PVC pipe connectors on either one, and then feed a longer pipe through, or just little rinky-dink PVC pipes going up and arching over. And then maybe making arching from the end of the box to that side. That way I can have cross sections, at least 4 of them. And then that way I can string up what are they called? You have a main stem, and then you have they're not runners. What are they called? I forgot. They're like another main stem on indeterminate tomato plants, where you have the main stem going up, and you usually have one lateral, and then it's like a side. They're side shoots, I think. So they come through this diagonal portion on the branch itself, or on when it starts to grow. You know, the anatomy basically looks like this, and then it switches, and then it grows like this, and then it goes like that, and then it grows like that. You know what I mean? So no, you don't. I know that was crazy, but you don't give a fuck. I know. But regardless, those side shoots will basically produce more fruit. So I don't want to get rid of all of them. I know that when people keep them on there, they get a higher yield of actual fruit on the tree. So I'm going to obviously keep the main stem and then keep a few of the side shoots. And since they're going to be going diagonal, I'll be attaching, maybe the first 2 or 3 to the top of the PVC pipe where there's a cross section. So I'll go up at least with 4 main stems, all the way up, 1, 2, 3, and 4, all the way across the bed. And then make 2 little diagonal ones from each plant, and then, diagonal up. So they have 3 strands, 2 side shoots, 1 main stem, and it vines all the way to the top. That way, everything's separated and not a bush, and that way I can identify where the excess leaves are. But regardless, we're neither here nor there. Nothing's even come up out of the fucking ground. I won't probably see anything until 8 days from now, but that's if I do everything right. And I already fucked up. I did. I already messed up. I fertilized it. I shouldn't have. I didn't know. But it's not going to be completely ruined. It's just that I probably won't have to do that for another 3 to 4 weeks. And I've even seen people do as soon as 2 weeks, but I'm not in a rush. So it said not to do it until I actually see the plant itself. And I think it had to have been 18 inches or something like that. I'll look it up again. Don't worry. You know. But that's what we have. I hope you guys like it. But that's only if things come up out of there. So, you know. Our succulents are doing great. They're down here. The last time I had them on there, they all fell down in the wind time. I mean, during the winter. And then I kept them all down here because I was repotting and organizing them. And I just never took them off from right here. So, you know, my area is a little messed up. And there's a lot of there's bags of potting soil. And, you know, I was going to germinate some seeds with those in some snail, what are they called? Snail starters. I've seen people do that with like those plastic bags. And I think that's a great way to utilize them. Perfect, you know, so, I mean, whatever. I'm going to try. I'm going to try to find some more seeds today because I have one more box. In that box right there is another one of those, and I'll probably put it right next to it. But I also need 8 bags of soil just to fill one, which is a lot of money, so I don't really want to. So, I'm not. And, yeah. That's what we got. Everything's flourishing down there. Everything looks great. The soil looks moist still. And I was looking it up online. I have to keep them moist. I feel like my memory is just like needs to be completely refreshed. Last time I grew tomatoes, I was literally in high school whenever I grew them last. So I feel like everything I learned went out my window, out of my head. So you can see there is a little trail, I can see it on camera now, of moisture that didn't fully evaporate, which I'm grateful for. I have a feeling I should have mixed a little bit of perlite in here, but I guess it's all right. I guess I don't mind. Regardless, it needs to have water retention. Anywho, since they're just seedlings, but I guess I learned that lesson. But yeah, so I think here there is 2 cherry tomato plants. One would have been fine, but you know, I'm hasty. And here we have Cherokee purple tomatoes, and they're both indeterminate, and they will vine. So I can't wait. That's all I literally have to say. But that's what I wanted to show you yesterday. And I couldn't because I forgot. And I prioritized cleaning my home. I was tired, you know. Very sleepy. Over it. Shit over it. But yeah, I just need to figure out the trellis part. A part of me wants to take apart this. I'll show you. I want to take apart this thing since it's falling apart. And since it fell over from holding my plants at one time, so I was like, well, this sucks, you know what I mean? So I figured I could use this to some degree, you know. Or at least utilize these little pieces as my cross sections for if I use maybe like, here, this is great that we have this here. You must have read my thoughts because when I'm like, I need more cozy and you have 3 strings back to back. My bad, sorry, we're inspired and it really isn't disciplined, so just enjoy it while it lasts, just being honest with you. So here, okay, here, this is perfect. Wow, okay. Here's the deal, Pickle. Oh, let me get on this side. This looks like a mess, bitch. That's a mess over here. Okay, if I got 2 2x4s that went up and over here, and then over this way, okay? 2 on this side. 1 on here, and then 1 at the end of the bed. And I would do maybe, if not that, then T-post. I don't really think I'll need to. I would say 2x4 by, how tall is a fence? Is a fence 8 feet or 7? 7 foot, right? 6 feet, huh? A fence is 6 feet tall, isn't it? I don't know. Regardless, I think maybe we have 1 foot down in the bed, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think 6 or even 7. 7 because 1 foot will be, well, let me see. Hold on. Let me look at this. Excuse me. Okay. New 6 to 7. Okay, thank you. Love that. I love that y'all are Google. Okay. That really hits the spot in the morning. Okay. I think I fucked up because I want the trellis to be installed on the inside of the bed, okay? I would like to have the 2x4 by, let's just say 10, have at least, 24 inches, 18 inches within the soil, the sediment here. And then the remaining 7 or 8 above. And actually, we should get 9. 9. Because these can grow, the vines can extend up to 10 feet. So I think 9 is great. It's wonderful, because if they go over my neighbor's yard, you know what I'm talking about? I don't want to impede anybody's day. That's rude. So I think at least 18 inches within the ground. That's about 1.25 feet, right? 1.25 feet. We have 2.25, 3.25, 4.25, 5.25, 6.25. So that's 7. 7 is fantastic. If not 8, we'll get 8. So 1 2x4 by 8, another 2x4 by 8 on the other side, and then, well, these are pretty these are pretty strong. These are pretty strong. And what I could do, I could take these lateral pieces like this and set these all the way across. Hold the hell on. hold the phone. I could put these across like this, the 2x4s, bop, 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 all the way across. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And they're about, what? That's about 10 inches, right? Going long ways. About 12 going this way. Tie them up like that. Or this way. I think this is not a bad way. This is pretty good. And then reinforce maybe more structure here. I guess it's unnecessary. It's pointless. Huh. Not necessary. Where would it hold? That's what I'm saying. I think I would put at least 18 to 24 inches on the inside of the dirt. In the actual garden foot, like, you know, past the bed. And then you have 1 foot going through the bed, and then the remaining 6 feet sticking up over the bed. So that's what I want to do. And then I'm going to just maybe take the 2x4s and nail them or drill, you know, some screws into the metal itself, and then attach some like lug nuts on the inside, at least at the top. And maybe do 2 screws. And I could dig out the edges there. And I really should have, this is why I'm saying I fucked up. I think I really should have did this before I put the tomatoes in there. Because, you know, now I'm having to move things, you know. So, okay. But I could put it on the exterior and it'd just be fine. That way I don't disturb my tomatoes, you know. And that way they have more room to grow. Yeah, it'll be all right. So, yeah, 2x4x8 on both sides, screwed into the actual 1 foot side of the bed, each on there, 2 screws each, if not 4 on each side, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, but 18 inches past it in the actual, you know, sediment ground there. That way, you know, it's you know, not just be sitting on top of the dirt and then just fall over or something. And then, okay, so then we have it being 8 feet in length, right? All the way across from that corner to that corner, about 8 feet. So, a 2x4x8 at the top. And then, these little crossbars go all the way across the 2x4. And I think that's perfect. That way, I can have the main stems coming up this way, all the way across. Well, you know what? Let's use this as an example. All the main stems, the strings, okay, the twine will attach to it, going up this way. And then I'll have these lateral pieces going across the 2x4. Where am I at? Like this, okay? So that's basically how it'll be. And then I will use those 4 main stems. Where's my other piece? They'll come up this way, okay? 1 on that side, 1 over there, twine in between, and 3, 6, 9, 12 pieces of twine on each plant. Well, 3 on each plant of 4, okay? And boom, we have a trellis. There's nothing there yet, though, so I'm not gonna worry about it. Yes, it'll be a rectangle. God damn it, a fucking rectangle, okay? No, not a rectangle, like a T. A T. Do I have to demonstrate? Okay. Here. And then on the opposite side, pretend I'm a 2x4x8, and I'm here, okay? And then another 2x4x8 across the top of me, going back in this way, okay? Going all the way across, a singular one across, okay? where it'll attach to this side, okay? And then cross sections going across the 2x4. Think of it like a T. It's more like a T than it is a rectangle. So, the actual frame itself will be out of 2x4s. The crossbars, you know, they're not obviously gonna be 2x4s. I don't need that much, but regardless, I think something that's slightly bigger than this, more like, here, let's see, something more like this, you know, together, across 1, 2, 3, 4 times at least. So, you know, that's the skeletal frame that I'm looking for. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. I know you don't care. I'm tired. I slept for 3 hours last night. And I'm gonna make snail starters. I've seen people do it successfully. They took a top portion of the bag, or even if anything, cut it in half. But I don't know, maybe even just half and half. Cut the bag in half, rolled up, or even opened it up on one side, opened it up, filled it with potting soil, put their seeds on it, rolled it up like this, rolled the top portion up like this, took the bottom portion, set that inside of it so it catches the water, and in the spiral they set all their seedlings, the little seeds, sorry, not seedlings, and then forgot about it, covered it up, whatever, opened it up whenever it was done, and it was just, you unravel it like a, you know, it's like a snail. It's all in a cylindrical form, or spiral form. You open it all the way up, there was roots all up and through the bitch. I said, what? I'm doing that. I'm gonna do that. I didn't make any starters this year. I just put them right in the ground. I put them right in the ground. Would it be better to have 2 in the back and 2 in the front than a cross for more support? Yeah, but that's more money. Oh my God, you guys forget that I'm just working with what I fucking have. Y'all think I just got the shit ton of, you don't understand. Also, I want it to be accessible, you know. I don't want it to be too much, you know. That's why I was thinking the cattle panel would be great, but as you can see, it is quite narrow, and they're standard size. They always come in 16 feet. And with a bend like that, it'll just come, with a bend like that, it'll just barely make it over there. So it's just no point. No point. Then again, I don't have a green thumb. No. This is all great information. I appreciate you guys. Don't even worry. I'll figure it out. But yeah. Because my other option was just to have something like this. Okay. But I don't want to do this. You know, that's only about 4 feet once it's in the ground. Or sorry, I would say 3.5 feet once it's in the ground. And this is just no. It's not sturdy, and it's small. they're indeterminate, which means the tomatoes will vine. And that means if they're gonna vine, the plant's gonna extend pretty far. And I've seen a max capacity, or some people can grow theirs with a trellis 10 feet long. That's a lot of opportunity for the main stem to produce fruit, as well as the shoots, okay, the side shoots, all right? So I want a big yield. I really do. I'm not just gonna, buy all this junk and then just have 4 tomatoes at the end of it. I'm not gonna, no. I want to go big, baby. I want it to work. So I need a trellis. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I've also seen people just take two little T-posts and then string all the way across it horizontally all the way up. But that means they don't have enough room for cross sections, okay? Or anything that goes basically like this. The plant itself has a main stem, and you want to think about the 2 opportunities where fruit will come off in the little V stems. I think they're side shoots. Then at the bottom of the plant, usually there's like these L-shaped or horizontal ones. They don't usually produce the flower. The ones in the V shape produce the flower, and the main stem produces the flower, okay? And I still need to buy twine. 500 feet is $5. Everything costs money. Everything. I hate having hobbies because it means it's just gonna spend more money. But with more money and time, we'll solve our problems. Let's see. Or create new ones, because this is just a new problem. But like I said, I don't need to worry about it. You see on there, there is absolutely, you see it. There's nothing coming up out that ground, baby. There ain't shit up in there. Nothing. Nothing's there. So I don't need to worry. No stress. That's technically irrelevant. Also, I don't know if I should have put them there, because this gets full sun, like, I think for 12 hours, for like 18 hours right here. And I think for here, you see how it's in the shade? I also thought to consider right there because it might protect it from the summer sun. And usually where I live, it gets warm or 90 degrees at 9 in the effing morning. So I figured this is a good fucking idea to put it right there. I'm still gonna put a shade cloth over it after I build the trellis, obviously, but the only reason why I'm not wanting to do PVC pipe is because I don't want my twine to possibly slip down off the PVC pipe, because I have a feeling that since I'm building it, it won't, So that's why I'm saying wood, because it has a little bit of grip, But, pause. But I don't know if this is 8 hours of sun exposure, because they need at least 6. That's the whole point. They need at least 6. I forget when that gets sunny. And usually this east rising sun is the most full and warmest, because the closer it gets to the horizon, usually it will cool down. But that's my small brain trying to understand that. And yeah, I think another thing I seen, if I was to do cattle panel, okay, now I'm getting it. Oh God, I almost tripped and died. Okay, so right here, you see that it's about 1 foot here. I wanted to put cattle panel. So you have What's 50 divided by 12? Oh my God, is that 3? No, no, it's not. Is that 5? 50 divided by 12. Shit. Shit. Is it 4? Well, it's roughly 48 is divisible by, yeah. I would say that, okay? Roughly 4, right? So each of these sections are 4 feet in length here, okay? Oh, sorry, I meant to do, 4 feet in length, okay? So if I could do 2 cattle panels, one arching from this way all the way here, you know, I'll have an archway as well as a means to be able to go through the arch and harvest everything from the top down, you know what I mean? Here, let me sit you down. You guys can't even visualize this. Okay, 2 cattle panel, okay? I'm telling you all the scenarios in my head that I went through. This is why I was up until 3 in the morning. Bitch, I was stressed out, okay? So here, they're 50 inches long, 1 cattle panel on the back side, another one here. They both arch 16 feet in the air, land about here, roughly, you know, or here. But regardless, I can go underneath that just fine. More than enough room for me. If anything, I need to get a damn stool and then harvest my tomatoes. And I want that because I want the vine to extend all the way to the ground. Yes. Then I'll be able to walk underneath the archway here and still be able to access everything from the back of the bed here, or the main portion of the bed, the top, where it will vine, and all the way, the vines all the way on this side. But that's where, Jesus Christ. Okay, but we need support. So I've seen T-posts, okay? I don't have a T-post, like, you know, what are they called? Yeah, you put it on top of T-post, you hammer it down. I don't know what they're called. I think you can rent them. I'm not sure. I also seen people put them in the ground with a mallet, but they were skinny T-posts, really tiny, and not very tall. They were like 3 feet or 4 feet ones, 3.5. Regardless, the cattle panel, I will be putting 2 here, okay, against the base of the bed here. 2 T-posts, 1, 2, another 2 T-posts, 1, 2, okay, and then cattle panel, zip ties, or I have really, really strong zip ties that I could use. Oh, I'll show you them. Actually, they're right over here. I have these ones. Some zip ties like this. Some fabric ties. And just like, you know, clamp them down. Okay? And they're nice and coated. They're really good. So I was going to do that. Attach the T-post to the cattle panel as many times as I need to, obviously. Then arch it over. Okay? We'll obviously hammer in more T-posts, 2, 4, into the ground here. Okay? And then take my cattle panel. Sorry, I switched that around. Cattle panel. Arch it over, and then same thing. Zip tie all the T-posts to the cattle panel, and then that'll be my trellis. But that's the most expensive and bougie way. But I don't have that right now. So in the next 8 days to 10 days, you'll have sprouting. Okay? And then I want to say Oh man, I have to TT. And then in the next, let's look at the damn package. So let me stop going off the top of my fucking head. Okay, let's see. The cherry tomatoes will be germination within 7 to 14 days. 70 days to harvest. And then same thing. These ones, the Cherokees, 70 to 85 days. So summertime, baby. And right now it's March. God, I have to twinkle. March what? 15th? It's already half of the month. So let me see. April and a half. We have March and a half, and then May and a half. That's June. July. Okay? Around July. And if anything, end of July for these, or August. Okay? So I have, how many fucking months is that? Bear with me, damn it. Jesus fucking Christ. I just drew a blank. ADHD. Now I feel like I'm back at school. Dang it. Now everybody thinks I'm a dumbass. My brain went blank. What was I just doing? What was the equation I was just doing? What was it? Oh, dear Lord. I told you 3 hours of sleep, didn't I? Okay. We have, it's March, April, May, June, July. 4 months. Okay, 4.5 months until I need to worry about that. And by then, I probably would get all that situated. It'll work out. You know, that's plenty of time to plan and prepare and purchase. Okay. Go to the bathroom. You're right. Okay, but yeah. But see, this is already stretched. Look at the shade. I felt like that was beneficial. That it'd be so much shade because it's so hot here. And they need shade. Well, they don't need so much shade, but I mean, in a climate where I live, they're going to need shade. I don't want to get root burn or, you know, fruit burn, whatever it is. So, yep. And the T-posts, I'll have to, you know, hammer them into the ground. And I think at least 4 feet out of the ground is appropriate, because I could do 6 feet, but that's more expensive. The only thing I'm worried about is because I need that at least, okay, I need at least this right side to be strong enough, because the fruit is going to be 12 to 16 ounces a pop. And the little cherry tomatoes are like 1.5 ounces, they're tiny. So that's why I was thinking maybe for the left side, I'll get 4-foot T-posts, hammer a foot down into the actual soil of the ground, you know, where the grass is, push that a foot down. Then the right side, where the Cherokee purple ones are going to be, 12 to 16, like that's a pound. That's a pound. Jesus. And I thought maybe I could get 6-foot T-posts on the right side, because the vine I feel like was going to be heavier, right? And then still have the same thing, cattle panel, extend on this right side. 5-foot T-posts, 6-foot T-posts. because it'll be 4 and then 5 feet tall. Or maybe even 4 foot to be 3 foot tall and 6 foot to be 5 foot tall. Because the fruit on the other one is tiny. So I figured, fuck it, just let it go crazy. But yeah, I think that's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. But I need 4 of each. 4 6 foot. 4 4 foot. Or 3.5 if they have 3.5 for the cherry tomatoes. I think that's perfect. Amazing pose. I don't even remember what I did. I'm glad we talked about this. This is perfect. Now I know what I'm doing. Sort of. Okay. And then I was going to see if I could try to do a companion plant. I can't do this anymore. I have to take a piss. Give me a second. You can hang out here if you want. You just enjoy it. You hear the birds, you know, whatever. I'll be back. Okay. I wish I could have showed you how Padme looked, but she was like using the couch as a pillow, and she was like sitting upright. Well, it's hard to show you because I'm not a cat, but she was sitting up like this, like up against the ottoman. I'm like, dude, why do you look like a person? She's so cute. Anywho, well, I guess it's kind of, oh yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't know if I want to do a companion plant this year. So sometimes people would do things like, you know, combinations to where they'll have the best output or yield based on the neighboring vegetables or vegetation or, you know, flowering plants that they decide to put next to them to have an opportunity for, you know, successful pollination rates and for successful, you know, successful pairings or matches of vitamins within the 2 neighboring plants to feed one another, to help flourish one another, to kind of create an ecosystem basically. And some people do like, you know, bell peppers and carrots, you know, certain herbs with tomatoes, you know, things like that. And then, you know, some people will just throw a whole bunch of wildflowers in their bed and just hope to God. But that's the nice thing about tomatoes is that they are self-germinating or self-flowering. They have the male parts as well as the female parts located in their flowers. And the only thing that really stimulates them to actually self-pollinate is usually just wind. Some people will have a greenhouse and quite literally put a fan in there to mimic natural breezes in nature. So it just takes a little bit of jostling to get the pollen to fall off and, you know, basically go into the female place of the flower itself. That's the only natural way it would have done that, is just a little bit of shaking, you know, to get the pollen loose. So that's the only thing that I'll need to do. And that's why they're so starter friendly, is because you don't need to worry about flowers being nearby or bees or hummingbirds or, you know, dragonflies, butterflies. You don't need to worry about that. So, perfect. Perfect. Hope that makes any sense. I could germinate some tomatoes for my family and give them tomato starters. I could do that. But I could also just give them the fucking tomatoes that I grow. That's even nicer, because it's like, here's the job. You know, it's like buying a fish. Like, here, you just have a responsibility. It's not even gonna benefit you in any way because it can't even, you know, do tricks, whatever. I don't know. It's a bad example, but you get what I'm saying. It's just work, you know. Here's a puppy for Christmas. Oh, it's work because I have to be home to feed it. So that's kind of where I'm at. And I think that maybe the goal is just to give people what I've harvested, reap what I've sowed. So that's probably the best gift. What, Mama? Shut up. Shut up, shut up. Shut up. Yep, you stink. Okay. Here's this. I have a problem. This one is wet. I really feel like we should put this in its own pot or repot it because I don't think it's getting enough drainage. I don't know what's going on, so let's fix it. And then let me see if the cash hit the ka-chow. Oops. I probably woke up this small family. I don't know. I feel bad. I mean, I wasn't shouting, but you know how it goes. Okay. I think what I'll do is use this one with better drainage holes. And I also have to check to see the roots. And it's been moist, I swear to God, for 3 months, I think, if not 2, since I moved it out here outside, so. But the thing about it is I want to move them to the front of the house because there is north-facing sunlight, and since these are like tropical plants, they'll do much better in the north of the house, where it's predominantly more shady, but they'll have bright shade, than to have them in the back here and get basically a sunburn. As you can see, something's going down with that. She's not doing well. She hasn't produced another shoot or sprout. We have to give this one a new home because it's too shallow. The root ball is huge. I got that off the side of the road, and it's just, you know, it's kind of like take me back home, but, you know. Let's put this down here. Sorry for the noise. And let me just check it out and see how it's doing. I don't know what all this is. But the root ball is so tiny, and it's been moist for forever. It doesn't smell like root rot, but she definitely is going to start to be, because it's too moist. So we'll fill up the tub here with more perlite in the mix. Do this outside where it's well ventilated. Okay. I'm going to add another container's worth. Or we'll start with half. Or sorry, a quarter. Mix this all up. Fix this here. And this just gives us an opportunity for better drainage. Yeah, we'll do more. She definitely needs a chunky soil mix. The whole small little cup. I don't know what this is. 12 ounce? I don't know. Can you even see that? No. Maybe let's see. We could like that. You see that? Perfect. And then, for better drainage, some rocks. Okay. Rock. More rocks. Okay. Pieces of terracotta down there. Oh, more rocks. Perfect. Oh, they're falling out the bottom. Ugh, itchy. Okay. A little bit of rocks down there. I would cut up some plastic, but you know, oh well. I don't have, you know, nearly enough, but regardless, we'll put some down here, some soil in there. We'll do this. We'll find out where the plant is. And see, she's been rooting in water for a really long time, and I said, it's about time you go down and, you know, figure it out, love. She was receptive. She knew. We'll put that here. We'll fill it up. And if you have orchid bark, perlite, some people use like those little circle, you know, core beads. I don't know what they're called. Just for well drainage. Something that looks like this, you know, incorporate it into the soil. And I will use a lot. So now it's a little bit damp. I don't necessarily want to water it again. Oh my God, is that a centipede? I had to kill it. We'll leave it like this. We'll let her acclimate to her new pot. And that's all I wanted to do, I guess, with that. And then maybe we'll take the rest of the soil and we'll put it in with our other plants that we're gonna pot later. I have that one in there that definitely needs soil, but that's just not enough. So we'll move that to the front yard. And it'll be good. Put this away. She likes it here. Her root ball is small. A part of me kind of wants to put her in a smaller pot, but the roots are long, but they're not. They're definitely not like spread out across the plant here. I don't know if I should or not. I probably should have. Why don't I just do that instead? I'm sorry. I just want it to be good. Let's see. These ones are all the same. Let me see. Sorry, I know I just did that, but look at me. We're gonna have to get it back together. All the rocks, put them all back in there. Can you see? All of them. Look at us. It's never too late to fix anything we make. Let's see. And then let me really look at it. How long? See, look at the bottom of this pot. I don't know. She kind of flattened out, spiraled. But see, it's barely anything. That's why I kind of want to put her in a smaller container. She's not really that big. A nursery pot for her, you know, would probably be more suitable. Well, this one's good. It's longer. What about this one? This one's narrow. It's narrow in width and longer. I think she'll like this better. Oh God, I'm itchy. Just itchy. Okay, let's put all the rocks at the bottom. This one, lots of drainage for her. Some rocks. I'll put just a 1/4 inch or 1/4 of it filled up with soil. We'll stick her down here, and then we'll fill it up. I think this is more appropriate for her. I think she's probably also in shock because the other pot that she was in was just too tall, too long, and usually that will shock the plant, so that was my fault. I thought she needed it, but really she needs a smaller pot. Let's shake the soil, and I'll let her settle. I know she's been through a lot recently, but she might stand up again. She's just a little bit nervous. Yeah, she'll be fine. I kind of want to put her in sideways and then lift up some of this soil a little bit and kind of give her a place to rest. We could do that too. Let's do that. And that way, whenever she gets watered, the soil will compress and come out regardless, you know, a little bit, since it's not so chunky. We'll do something like that. And then hopefully she feels encouraged to come out this way. So we'll give it a try. And there's a little bit of nodes here. That's why I'm covering it. She has a few root nodes there, as you can see. So these will germinate in the ground. And we just gotta give her some time. A little bit of water. Shake it. And don't want to push it down. We want air to still be in there. We don't want her to fully compress. It's unnecessary for that kind of plant. It's not a vegetable or a flower. Let's see. Or a cactus. Let's see. Is there water here? No. No water. Oh well. I'll keep her over here next to this back patio door, and we'll just let her hang out and dry off a little. But she's doing good. We'll take her with us later. Oh my God, I'm itchy from all the dirt. Oh man, I'm pretty tired. Okay. All right, let's go inside. Enough of this. The tomatoes don't need to be watered. They're still moist. We want the seedlings to remain moist. What, Padme? Let's go ahead. I'll show you these though. This is what we're waiting for the soil for. This philodendron is, she needs a new pot. You can see that her root ball, oh, this is a good example. Her root ball, is the more or less same size as that pot, you see? In terms of width, okay, diameter. Now, she's not as tall, you know, short, obviously. So she needs a wider pot, if anything, and then she can extend down if she wanted to, but regardless, that's what we need to assess for her. I have this one, it's an aloe vera, okay. I have had this one just air rooting without any water in this, just like that, for a month or two. She's finally wanting to develop some roots here. She's dried out, got these roots, this one. Keep in mind there's nothing. It was nothing. It just looked like this, dark, okay. Another root, look at all these, 1, 2, 3, another baby, another one starting underneath. She's doing fabulous. She likes it. Okay, and some sprouts in the center. But you can see that now that she's been out of the ground and not getting access to water often, she's a little bit more concave. Okay, I kind of fit my finger in there. She's got a lip now. She's not flush. The flesh is not coming all the way up to the edges. It would be literally flat where my finger is. Ready for harvest, all that stuff, but it's not, okay? Because it was coming to a point where she was basically having root rot, and some of her leaves were coming off on the exterior here. I had to rip those off. So I just took her out of some water, let her use her water storages in the plant itself. She's been out of the ground for 2 months. Inside, it was just too cold for her being out there. So I just kept her in this. She needs to go in the ground now. She's fine now, completely. She needs to go in the ground. Waiting on more potting soil. As you can see, I used all my potting soil for that bed. And then I have this one, the clippings from this one and the one I have in the front yard now. Okay, I took off 2 vines, but I can start rooting, and then I'll put them back in those mother plants. And just root them in some water. All these nodes here will develop some roots there. Just keeping them submerged. And I might bring these outside. Just because it's coming to a point where they're getting so long that my cats want to chew them up. So it's not a good thing. So yeah, once that roots up, we'll have to put that one in the ground. I spilled a bunch of dirt on the floor. Sorry. And I just cleaned my fucking kitchen, bitch. I just did. I also have to plant these lime seeds. Bitch, I'm out of breath. You know, you get it. 3 hours, let's not forget. I also want to grow pears. I have blood oranges coming, lemons, sumo oranges, tangerines, and more avocados. And paper towels so I can germinate them. Actually, let's see where we're at with all that. Not yet. It might not be till tomorrow. We'll see. I'm fucking dry. I'm dry. Should we have breakfast? What time is it? When was the last time I ate yesterday? When was it? 10? 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 12-hour fast. Right? Or should I wait till 14? Should I wait till 12? Should we wait till 12 chat? Technically, I already broke the damn fast because I had this juice, and it's definitely food in there. Just blend it up. Oh my god, this piece of cheese. I was trying to find that. It was right in front of me. Well, oh dear Lord. I need to sit my ass down. I need to sit. I don't give a fuck about none right now. I need to just chill. I almost seen that pear move. I'm hallucinating. I need to chill. But we can sit here in front of the nice back door. Back door, back door. I'm gonna just put that here. And I know you hated that. Oh dear. Jesus, get me out of there. My whole pant leg's covered in dirt. I'm tired, baby. I need to rest. Don't jump over here. Oh my god, bad mate. Mind your business. Padme, be quiet. Be quiet, be quiet, shut up. Well, you know. I'm tired. I don't know what you guys want to do, but I feel like I need to go back to bed. I'm sleepy, okay? Flippin' tired. Shit over it. I might wake up at 1 o'clock. Is that smart? I went to bed at 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 30. It's not even 6 hours. I'm a little tired. This is too much. It's gone on for far too long. Oh, the baby. Look at, they love you. You love Seat Mama. You love Seat Baby. Don't give her no credit. She pissed on the fucking couch this morning. It's been rough. I've had a rough morning. I'm glad to see you guys. But yeah, it's been tough. Look at you. She don't give a fuck. You don't care, huh? You don't care that you TT'd on the couch. You TT'd. Yeah, you TT'd on the couch. I hate you. She's looking right at me. No, I hate you. You stink. Like this. Stink. You look cute. You get your scratches. She wants to be scratched like she got fleas and she don't. You're ugly girl. It's a lady. Yeah. It's been a rough one. Rough morning. Look at those feet. You have a rabbit foot. Let me see it. I'm gonna pull it. Yucky. You have stinky feet. You have big foot. A big foot. Ew. Smell it. Smell the foot. Smell it. It stinks. You didn't clean it. Smell it. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. You're just kidding, Mama. Baby girl, lady. When there's woman, then a small lady. She's so upset. You mad? Want me to shut up? Okay. Oh, don't cry. It's okay. She's a big baby. But, yeah. This is all I got. I love you guys. Hope you have a great day. Thanks for spending the morning with me. I'm useless at this point. I'm just going to be rambling about and complaining. You know, you've been here. You know what it's like. Okay. I love you. Bye.